Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the final issue of Marvel Action Spider-Man 2021 Comic Review. Now as you know, the newer Marvel Action Spider-Man comics are a better improvement over the TV show Marvel Spider-Man, with likeable characters, more believable stories, and things that don't feel enforced. And the cover has Otto Octavius becoming his villain alter ego, attacking Spider-Man. And let's go on the story. It starts off how everyone's getting ready for the big kind of presentation. And we kind of see Randy saying, "And don't think I've forgotten about your story about the running with Spider-Man, Charlie. You'll have to wait. I've been swept since joining the Junior Research Squad." And even talks about how, being in the sort of gym room, sort of getting things ready, with her saying, "If only you could have seen what we've been working on." And kind of leaves off to kind of do the work. We kind of see how Cindy and Aunt May get everyone in. Of course, we kind of see how Peter sees Otto Octavius giving his big presentation and saying, "I hope you're ready to be amazed. Witness the future of cybernetic robotics." I knew it! Those plans were for the principal! And of course, we see how Peter wants to get into action to make sure Otto doesn't put anyone in danger. And we kind of see how he gets everything ready, goes in, but gets attacked by Otto, who now calls himself Doc Ock, with him saying, "No way, but you're the principal." And he basically points out how he figured out how Spider-Man and Screwball shut up in the last issue, and even had Mysterio make fake illusions, and even basically throws Spider-Man around, and even points out that his investors have put a lot of money on this project, even the Academy, and even says, "You're in over your head, boy. You messed with Scorpion. You messed with Mysterio. You won't mess with me." And of course, we see him drink the same liquid that increases his powers, and tries to go for him, and tries to finish him off. Until we see Randy and Cindy showing up, and Spider-Man needing their help, and saying, "You need our help? You're the superhero. Do you know where the Junior Research Squad are? There's some sort of connection between them and this creep. Huge monster arms." So of course they know Otto's too dangerous to be taken down, and they need to find a way to shut down the arms. And Charlie and Cindy leave to help out to shut the arms down. We see Otto saying, "You can't outrun my fists, boy. Even with your reflexes, I'll always be one step ahead with these magnificent tentacles." And we kind of see how Cindy figures out where the room is. They bust in and see how the Junior Research Squad are using their sort of helmets. In other words, being used. So of course they managed to get Charlie off the helmet, and they kind of figured out that Otto's manipulating them into thinking it's a kind of system. And you kind of see Charlie saying, "Wait, Spider-Man, that guy's a jerk. I'm not sure what this is. Let's shut it down now and apologize later." So of course we kind of see how without the Junior Research Squad, Otto's tentacles shut down and leaves without an advantage. So of course Otto tries to take more of the serum to kind of still keep fighting. And of course we see how Charlie's now pissed at Randy and Cindy for interfering with work, and even says that there's no way she's part of an evil organization. The sort of things they were working on was meant to help places in remote parts of the country. And we kind of see how Charlie wants to admit she's in the right, but can't, and says, "I need to get some air," and of course leaves off. And we kind of see how Randy and Cindy find out that it's kind of like a kind of like VR system that Doc Ock's using. And of course they find the sort of button to shut it down, and of course shut down the harnesses, with Doc Ock saying, "You can't stop me, you insignificant worm. It's still game over, huh? Just squid in, it's game over for you." And of course throws him against the room, and ends up in the presentation part where Ola Octavius is now webbed up, and Norman Osborn manages to trick everyone into believing it was part of a presentation. And Norman Osborn says, "I think this goes without saying, but you're done, Otto. I'll be keeping a closer eye on this place. Much closer." And of course, we see how Spider-Man meets up with Randy and Charlie, who thank them for their help and that. And of course, we kind of see how Charlie feels betrayed and says, "I thought they were my friends." And I think this is a better way of doing the sort of betrayed friend thing. I think the problem Marvel Spider-Man had was Harry's reasons felt way too enforced. Here, Charlie's actions and behaviour is justified. So of course, after Peter changes back to his normal clothes, he ends up meeting back with Charlie and Cindy, who tell him everything. And yeah, this is the end of the series. So which kind of hints we might get another run or another issue, I'm not sure. And I think this series, in my opinion, is the better version of Marvel Spider-Man, because characters feel likeable, we have cast a bit more sort of not enforced, villains don't feel rushed in. It's a better improvement over Marvel Spider-Man, and this series deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. And this issue is definitely the best, because there's a lot of repercussions, there's a lot of after effects we're going to probably see, and I think Charlie feeling betrayed does work. Like, you can tell she wants to admit that she's in the right when clearly she isn't. So this issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.